Hi everybody, this is Amanda Ellis of amandaellis.co.uk and Facebook page Angelic Celestial Colours. I am making a series of videos here in December 2016 linked into the energies of 12 ascended master energies or archangels that are coming through to bring some wisdom, light, love and support to us at this time. These videos, though, are very much intended to be watched whenever you feel that you need them. So this is the second one in a series of, I thought was going to be 4, but I'm actually using some new software here. So I think the video is limited to half an hour. So it may be more than 4 videos because there's quite a lot of information to squeeze in. So without further ado, I'm not going to explain any more than that. Please watch the first video to hear me talk a little bit more about my approach to channeling and a little bit more about why we're doing this. I want just to get straight to the energy work this morning. And I have an idea already of who is going to be coming through on this video. And the first energy, ascended energy that I'd like to welcome in is this one. So I'm just going to grab it. Okay, so we have this beautiful image here, which is the image of Hilarion. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing his name correctly, doesn't matter anyway. I'm reading on the back of the card here. It says, Hilarion, in an earlier embodiment, Hilarion was Saul of Tarsus, transformed into Paul the Apostle after meeting Jesus on the road to Damascus. Hilarion was a great mystic who spent 20 years in the desert preparing for his mission, and then healed thousands of people. He died in AD 371, Lord of the Fifth Ray, the green ray of healing, wholeness, precipitation, and truth. He may be called upon at any time to assist. And it's really interesting, actually, that bit referring to the fact that we in spiritual circles know this energy as the Hilarion energy. But there is also a reference here to the fact that he had another lifetime as Saul of Tarsus. And I wanted, in fact, it's really perfect because one thing that the ascended energies were wanting me to say generally was the fact that many of them have had many different lifetimes and might be known by different names. And this is going to help some of us who get stuck on maybe a particular lifetime which doesn't resonate, but yet the overall soul energy of that being may have had another lifetime that you relate to more. Okay, does that make sense? So, for example, if you were put off by the fact that Hilarion used to be Saul of Tarsus, who became Paul the Apostle, it may be easier for you to relate to him more in this way, which is Hilarion, which is what we're going to be talking about today. I do want to say something, though, about the lifetime of Saul and Paul, because it feels a really important one, and it feels as though actually I need to bring something through on that. And I want to use a spray of mine, which is the Indigo Night in the Dark. So I'm just going to put his image there so you can look at him whilst I go and get the spray. So the sprays that I'm using are my own range. They're the Archangel Metatron sprays, but they're multi-dimensional. They can be used in many different ways, and we're linking into them primarily because of their colour, okay? Now, the reason I want to bring these two energies in for Saul and Paul is the story. And if those of you that don't know it, just a very, very quick précis. Basically, Saul was one of the main persecutors and prosecutors of the early Christians, and he was ruthless and bloodthirsty and out for vengeance. And he really went after the early Christians who were trying to establish a church. And his methods, as I say, were violent, were ruthless, and he had a reputation of being somebody to be feared. And the story goes that his conversion to, I want to call the light rather than Christianity, although he's associated with Christianity, his conversion to the light came in a great big blinding flash of light. He was on his way to retrieve what would have been prisoners, and he was met by the light of God, effectively, of Source, that showed him that the persecution of those that hold a different faith to oneself, even if you don't understand it, is wrong. And of course that light was Christ, and he then came, he transformed, and he changed his name to become Paul, who was one of the great apostles who wrote many of the letters within the New Testament. So he was an interesting character, and he was one of the forefathers of the early church. But it came from being in this very dark place of of darkness, of wanting to maim and hurt, because he himself was in the dark. So he was able to transcend effectively his own shadow, which is what this color energy represents, and step into the golden sunlight of a new identity and a new dawn. So I just wanted to allude to that because it feels important. And it also feels important that that message gets brought through again for our world, because what he is saying is we live in a world at the moment which is again full of many persecutors, many who are going after those that don't hold the same ideals as themselves, and again want to maim, want to torture. And what we are asking for within this healing transmission is for holy light to come in to transform men's hearts. And I'm saying men's hearts because it feels mostly a male energy that is dark, twisted, and full of hatred for our fellow man, and to bring in the light of an ascended energy, whatever that is, that feels appropriate for you that are listening to me, an ascended light energy, whether that is Christ, whether is it any of the other energies that you work with, to bring in love and transformation to the people who are persecuting at this time. Okay, so that's interesting because that came through, and it wasn't what I was going to be talking about with Hilarion, which is what we're going to get to now. But can you see that part of this soul identity, which is the Hilarion identity, is also tied in with another past life that he had, which also has got something to say. And we'll see that a lot with some of these ascended master energies, that they lived many different lives, and you're going to relate to some of the lives and maybe not relate to some of the others, but the whole picture builds up to an energy that is very supportive and important for our times. So why have we chosen, or why has Hilarion chosen to come forward at this time in December 2016 for us? I think if I put the image up here, I will channel through something that he wants to say in a moment. But if you look at that image, we've got that beautiful emerald green, and emerald green is about renewal, revival. It is also very much linked into the heart, okay? And it's about healing for the heart. He's holding a beautiful star full of golden light, and green, soft green healing light for our hearts also. And you know, on the video one, if you've seen it of mine, I mentioned the blue eyes of Mary and Ashtar and Archangel Michael, and that bluey vibe that was coming through with Hilarion. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but he has emerald green eyes. Okay, so something going on with eyes. And actually, the thing about green eyes are actually quite unusual in our world. And funny enough, I've just had somebody staying in my home, an old friend who came to see me last night, who has the most beautiful green eyes. But there's something about green eyes in terms of being misunderstood a lot of the time. I've always felt that they hold magic and mystery. And in the old days, green eyes I don't know, I'm picking up an energy which would have been associated with the old ancient crafts. It would have been called witchcraft in its day. And of course, it wasn't witchcraft, it was pagan worship. But I'm feeling that coming through as well. So there's almost like a pagan energy coming through with this green as well. The other thing that's coming through with the green energy here, generally, not about eyes, is to do with the expression being green with jealousy, okay? And Hilarion wanting to help us with that, to let go of any jealousy that we have in our hearts towards other people, other situations, those that have more than us. And what he is saying is that so often we look at other people's lives and we judge them to maybe be operating better than our own, being more successful than our own, having maybe more love in it than our own. And he's saying it's an illusion. You know, you all have within any life the potential for joy, whatever has happened to you, whatever situation you find yourself in. And he's showing me here, as I'm just linking into his energy, children who are running around in what we would call slums, I suppose, whether it's in India, whether it's in Africa. And he's showing me these children who have nothing, effectively, in material terms, and who the world judges as poor and deprived. But he's showing me the joy within these children who, even though they have nothing, in many ways they have more than many of us have that live a more luxurious or more abundant life. And he's saying abundance comes in many forms, and these children who have nothing are actually here to teach us the sheer joy of just kicking a football up a dirty street, which they don't even see as a street. They see as their playing field, earth being their playing field, being appreciative of simple meals that are given to them, being appreciative of people that come in to help them, and not being obsessed so much by a lot of the superficial trappings that we have in a more what we would call a more advanced world. But actually we have a lot to learn from some of the developing nations and the young children within them who are materially poor but spiritually are very rich. Okay, so that just all came from this whole thing about jealousy, because they don't necessarily they're not jealous necessarily about what we have. They may want more abundance for themselves and more material safety and shelter and prospects and all the rest of it. But would they really want all of the trappings that go with that sometimes, that we've inherited within a more Western civilization, which is to do with confusion and struggle and stress and worry and responsibility, and things that can weigh us down as well. So okay, I'm going to now spray the green, and I'm going to see what else he wants to say to us. And I think I would like to use my emerald spray to do this. So maybe you'd just like to sit and just invite in the Hilarion energy and the green ray. I'm also holding here, this is called a Gaia stone, and you can see it's the most beautiful green colour. It's very, very clear, very beautiful. And I'm just linking into that with him as well. And let's just see what he wants to say to us. You are all masters, able to heal yourself and your body, your mind and your spirit. You all have the ability to heal any condition, affliction, or illness that is within your own body. You look at me and you see health, vitality, and light. And I mirror that back to you now as a reality that you too can have within your own human vessel, the physical body that you own. Allow my healing green ray of light coming in on the 5th dimensional wave of love into your body now. Feel as my green ray surrounds you, supports you, comes in via your auric field. Feel your aura shining and pulsing with a bright green radiance. The green radiance of the light within your aura, transmitting wholeness, health, vitality, restoration, revitalization, and bringing positive healing change into all layers of the aura that needs it. Very much like a plant needs water and sunlight to grow, so too your physical body needs the green energy of restoration and healing that I offer to you now. Feel the soothing green ray come in, transmuting any greyness that is within the aura. Grey indicating illness, cells that are not healthy. And as we flow now, as the green energy now flows into the physical body, allowing this green energy to come in and scan the inside of your body, looking for any grey spots that are there, noting where they may be, and then allowing in this green energy now to recharge, to reprogram the cells so that they remember what it is to feel healthy and whole. So literally scan your body as Hilarion is asking you to. Become aware of any spots or blocks within your body, inside or outside, that feel cold, grey, unwell, and then allow that sparkling green energy to flow in, revitalizing, reprogramming any organ, any cell that was affected, remembering what true health feels like. Flexibility, peace. All parts of oneself working together holistically, remembering their role. The heart to pump the blood around the body. The lungs to dissipate the air around the body. The joints to move and be flexible. The spine to hold you strong. The feet and ankles to support you and walk this earth. The shoulders to support you, not carry your burdens. Your head space to be clear, to be able to see the way forward, to think rationally, clearly, concisely. The throat to speak, to be heard. The stomach to digest food, to absorb the nutrients that you need. The kidneys, the liver, detoxifying the body. The thymus, keeping you well, regulating your body, your systems. your hormones, keeping you balanced and stable, providing what you need at any time within the monthly flow if you're a woman, and for a man, your hormones to be balanced and as they are supposed to be. The waters within your body feeling peaceful, feeling calm, feeling healthy, your organs feeling hydrated, able to do the jobs that they need to do, the brain in particular, hydrated, nourished. And then with all this beautiful green energy around you, also feeling Hilarion coming in here and offering each of you a platter of healthy, nourishing, life-giving food that is right for what you need for your body now. See what the food is that is offered to you and feel the high vibration of that food that is given to you. Realize also that all food, all drink, anything that is ingested into the human body can be blessed before entering. And by blessing what we eat and what we drink, it makes it comfortable for our body to absorb and give it what it needs. And as you come back, I'm just drawn to the emeralds around his neck. I've actually got a very similar necklace to that. Mine is an emerald. I've got a very similar necklace. I have to try and pull it out for the next video. What does he want to say about emeralds around the throat chakra? Emerald is an unusual choice of colour for the throat chakra, actually. So I need to spray the energy to see what that's about. There's a message coming through about that green garland around his neck. Let's just imagine that we are being given a emerald necklace. And if you're a man, it might be a emerald pendant that is just being placed at your throat as well. And let's absorb in the energy of emerald into our throat. Emerald carries with it a feeling of royalty, of something that's been earned, is what I'm hearing. Something that's been earned, something that we have. It's like a gift that they're putting around us. And it feels like it's something that's in place for the Christmas period. And I'm really drawn to want to know what the qualities of emerald is as a crystal. So I'm going to go and look for you. So if you carry on looking at him, I'll go and grab my book, which fortunately wasn't too far away. So let's just see what the qualities of emerald are. This is a great book, by the way, The Crystal Healer by Philip Pernett. What I like about it is that he lays the crystals out in colour, which as a colour therapist is extremely useful, but I just think I really like it. Okay, emerald, here we go. It's associated with the heart. It's good for memory, patience and honesty. Good for growth, balance, eyesight and fertility. Good for the health of the kidneys, liver, bile ducts, bones, teeth, heart and immune system. Actually, that whole visualization we just did, if you repeat it yourself, you could actually just ask Hilarion to put the green ray into your immune system generally, which would cover virtually everything. Helps with sickness, high blood pressure, asthma, inflammation, jaundice, sores, angina. Also helps with temper. But primarily it's a stone for the heart. And I feel as though it's gifted at the neck there because that's a reward for all the heart-centered work that we have done. Okay, now I'm conscious that we're up to 24 minutes. So what I would like to do now is, I haven't got time, I don't think, to go on and cover anybody else in this video. So I'm going to pull a card for you from the Ascended Master deck that I've got here. Now, to be honest, I've pulled most of them because they're actually on my desk here behind me. But I am just going to pull a card for you here just to see what the next energy might be for the next video. And also there might be a message tied into what we've just been doing, or it might be something completely new. Let's see. Clear and shield your energy with El Mariah. Now, actually, in the Doreen Virtue deck of Ascended Master cards that I'm using, she does mention that, here we go, Hilarion. I'm going to go back to Hilarion because it's tied into this thing about clearing and shielding your energy. She talks about the fact that you can call upon him to clear energy. So it says here, blah, blah, blah. Much of his life and healing work was immortalized by St. Jerome's writings, which described Hilarion healing by commanding earthbound spirit attachments to leave. Okay, so again, that is something that if that resonates with you, and if you've had trouble with entities or attachments, that the Hilarion energy, the green energy, is a very, very powerful one to use to help you with that. Okay, so that's just what I want to do with that one. Is I'm just going to put the card up one more time. I want you to link into that green energy. And I think, to be honest, rather than going through some complicated procedure in terms of entity removal, what I'm guided to do and what I'm feeling he wants to bring through here is, again, going back to the whole Paul and Saul story that we had at the beginning, realize that darkness can be transformed in a flash of light. It can be transformed like that if we want it to. There is nothing more powerful than the energy of light on our planet. And it can come in for the most, what am I wanting to try to say? I'm trying to bring it alive. Almost like a lost case. That's what it feels like. Somebody like Saul was, somebody you would think would never have woken up in his lifetime, in 1,000 years. You know, he was so hell-bent on destruction, and probably did have some form of, when I say entity attachment, I'm talking here about darkness, I'm talking about fear, okay, which is the biggest entity attachment that we can have, actually, when fear dominates us. And Hilarion is saying, just use the green energy. Just remember to put it into your auric field as much as possible. And the more that you do that, it's almost as though green is a color energy that is about life. It's about expansion and change. It's linked into nature. And nature is by essence an abundant, healthy thing. Even a tree that has been destroyed by, I don't know, been ravaged by wind or whatever, usually there is still shoots within it that are still alive. And that's the green energy. So the green energy came through very strongly in this video. I'm going to be moving on now to record video number 3. And please join me for that in a moment. Much love, everyone. By the way, you're watching me on Amanda Ellis 11, which is my YouTube channel. My website is amandaellis.co.uk, and my Facebook page is Angelic Celestial Colours, and that's spelt the European way with a U. Okay, much love, everyone. Sending you all that beautiful green energy. Bye-bye.